So my wife and I were having a perfectly fine evening the other day, sitting on the patio enjoying a somewhat warm spring evening when she said, "When are you gonna get rid of some of these grills?" Grills are like family, you learn, you make mistakes together, you eventually succeed, you accomplish something, and then all for what? Just for that to be taken away from you? I mean, I only have like 7 grills. Well, there's 7 behind me. I have 2 more, I have 9 grills. Only 9. So I don't know, maybe my wife has a point. Maybe I have too many grills. I obviously don't use all of them at once. Some of them I kind of rarely use anymore. So I think it is time to pare down the fleet a little bit. And who are we kidding? I'm gonna get a couple more just as soon as I get rid of a couple of these. So maybe this isn't such a bad thing after all. But this is still a tough decision. So we're gonna be drinking for this one. So to help me with my decision, I think I'm just gonna tell you what I love and hate about all these grills. Maybe you'll learn a little something about each grill if you're not familiar with them, and kind of pare it down to a few to choose from, because this is gonna be a tough call. So let's kind of cut the clear winners and the maybes and find out which one we're gonna get rid of, or which 2, 1 or 2, I think 2. All right, I'm committing to 2. So first we'll take a look at the large green egg and the Weber Genesis behind me. This is kind of like the armpit of my grilling world, in the sense that I don't shoot a whole lot back here. It's not real pretty, so you don't see it too much on camera, although I've seen it in a few videos. But this is where like work gets done during the week. This is like when you're making the meal every night and you want to get out quick, the Genesis is where it's at for me. I love charcoal. I've been emphasizing that lately, doing a lot of it, but the Genesis isn't going anywhere because it's good for burgers, it's good for steak, chicken breasts, quick searing, quick cooks. I don't like it for long cooks, if you're trying to develop flavors, obviously, but it's a winner and it's staying for now. And the dusty large green egg over there needs to be polished. I'm showing it all tonight, guys. This is what it looks like before I polish something up for a set. But tonight we're going raw. I love the green eggs, obviously. If you know me, you know I'm high on those. I've had this large one for about 10 or 11 years now. It's been a long time. I think they're great for a lot of things. They probably shine the most for me for those really long cooks where you want to retain the moisture in a brisket, pork butt, those 12+ hour cooks. And if you don't want to wrap them, they'll still be fine. I think that's the beauty of the green eggs. But they're also really versatile, for those short cooks as well. I've been using a lot lately for doing steaks, trying to get these steaks as close as possible to the coals and really get a nice sear after it, after kind of just doing a nice slow smoke and getting that reverse sear action. So it's making the cut list for sure. All right, the Rectech 700, stay or go. It's a great grill. I've been on the fence on this one for a while as far as whether I'm gonna keep it or not. What I love about it is the huge surface area. You can put a ton of meat on this grill. It's really easy to use. All you gotta do is flip a switch, fire it up, and you're ready to go. As far as food, I think it does a really nice job on ribs and pork butts, brisket. As long as you keep enough moisture in the environment or you wrap it, I think it'll do a great job with that as well, from my experience. Things I haven't enjoyed so much on it is chicken. I feel like it's a little hard to get the crispy skin on the pellet smoker setup. The heat deflector on it is so close to the grill grate, when all the drippings from that chicken drip down on there, kind of steams off, which is kind of a nice effect flavor-wise, but I feel like it makes it kind of difficult to get that crispy skin going without really just kind of incinerating the chicken and kind of overcooking it at the same time, if that makes sense. For those out there who feel different, definitely leave us your favorite recipes for the crispy chicken on the Rectech 700. Definitely be interested in that. But as far as negatives, things I don't like about it, generally the noise. I just can't get used to the pellet smoker noise by the patio. For me, it's not like the best thing in the world to have that going while you're chilling with your buddies, your family, and listen to some music and such. So that's a big negative. Other than that, the only real negative is just the fact that it takes a long time to ramp up to temperature, and it's not the best for searing steaks. I didn't really buy it for that, so I think that's a tough critique if you use that for a negative, is the capability of searing something. It really is a smoker more than a grill, in my opinion, so don't knock it too much for that. But if you're in the market, think about it before you buy it. Other than that, I'd have nothing bad to say about it. It works flawlessly. Operationally, it's great. I'd recommend it to anybody for a great pellet smoker. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna keep it or sell it. All right, let's check out the new Master Touch Premium. Had this for just a little while now, since last fall. I haven't used it much as I should because of the winter, but it's a little quirky. I wouldn't recommend the hinge so much. I would probably just get the larger 26-inch model if I were to do it again. It's still a little wobbly. It's just not, doesn't feel very sturdy. Generally works. I like all the convenience features of it, but it's very awkward to use just because you're always like, which handle should I grab for what? The alignment doesn't make sense. It's kind of weird. I always find myself grabbing like this one when I shouldn't and this one to move it. And it's kind of strange. The other thing you should definitely think about before buying this grill is the fact that you can take this hinge off and the lid off, but if you do that, you don't have a handle here to use. So it's very awkward. You have to grab it on both sides to move the lid around when it's hot. So you don't really want to use it with accessories like the rotisserie or the pizza oven accessory because it's just hard to handle. That being said, it still is a Weber kettle, which performs really well. I like how the grill grate is close to the coals so you can sear things nicely. And it's my go-to for, one of my go-tos, I would say, for crispy chicken. So if you haven't tried the Vortex, definitely try that out with a Weber kettle if you have one. It's a game changer. I didn't really believe in the Vortex until I tried it and I'm like, okay, crispy chicken it is. This is the way to do it. If you want crispy chicken, Weber kettle with the Vortex is the way to go. And the fact that it has a hinge does make it easy for like the weeknight grilling as well and just kind of keeping a hand free and accessing the grill. I do enjoy that part as much as I find the rest of it a little quirky to use. So for now, I think the Master Touch Premium is in the safe zone. Grill number 4 is the Pit Barrel Cooker, perhaps the most controversial cooker I've ever owned. I know people love the Pit Barrel Cooker and out of the box, it really doesn't have anything. It's a barrel, rods, and you hang the meat on it and hooks. It's got a smaller 18-inch diameter, so it does have a grill grate, but the grill grate is down below in the vessel, so it's kind of hard to really work with, in my opinion. I try to do little modifications on it, and people don't really like it when you modify the Pit Barrel Cooker because it is perfect out of the box, but I kind of disagree with that. So played around that in a thermometer and a vent so you can try to control the temperature a little bit better on the top, and I like it. It's a fun cooker. If you're looking for something really simple, get this cooker, and you're not looking to like really, if you're not finicky about things and you don't like to tinker around with things so much, and you just want to set it, forget it, this is a good cooker for you. My downside is that I really have a hard time keeping it going past 10 hours with one load of charcoal. That's kind of like my breaking point. I know some people can do it longer. I just haven't really figured out that way. I have other smokers that can easily push past that mark, like the Green Egg and the Bronco Pro can push past that mark as well on one load. So for me, that's a drawback. What it does really well for me is the short cooks. That does hanging chickens is amazing, so delicious. And then also hanging ribs, I find is a ton of fun on this smoker. So if you're looking to do kind of simple things, not the longer cooks, I think this is a great cooker for the price. Good performance, the flavor is outstanding, hanging over the charcoal. As the fat kind of hits the coals and comes back up. It's a magical smell, I can say that for sure. That being said, this one is kind of on the chopping block for me. It's a candidate to maybe go. So we'll keep that one in mind. And I know what you're thinking, you're like, oh, we already talked about the Weber kettle, but I do have 2. A lot of people have a lot more than 2, so I guess I'm on the lower side of kettle hoarding out there. But I do have 2, and you're probably wondering why. So the main reason I have this old second kettle, which I used for about everything for a long time, is now kind of dedicated to the Vortex. And the reason being, it kind of I wouldn't say ruin your grill, but it does affect it, the high heat and just all the drippings. What I've generally found is that combination of the high heat, the drippings, and generally being kind of a mess, those fins tend to raise up and get all disoriented down below, and you can't use it for like real true low and slow unless you keep it clean and tight down there. But I do love the Vortex, so it's probably sticking around for now, even though it's kind of a one-trick pony. Although I shouldn't say that, because I do use the rotisserie attachment and the pizza oven attachment on this setup. So this is probably in the safe zone too for now, even though I don't use it as much as I should. All right, we're burning daylight here. We need to come to a decision here. So while we're looking at drum smokers, we got to talk about the Bronco Pro. It's new to my arsenal. I've had it for several months now, but I like it. I haven't done everything on it, but what I've done has turned out really nice. And the temperature control on it is super easy. I love how it has the vents close by to control. You don't have to bend down, and it's very at your fingertips for a manual smoker. It feels very smooth and easy to operate. The temperature raises and lowers rather quickly compared to like a Green Egg too. Green Eggs take a long time to adjust if you kind of mess up, where this reacts a little more easily. So if you overshoot or undershoot, it's pretty easy. I've enjoyed using it. We also have to talk how large this thing is. You got a 22-inch grate, just like a Weber kettle. So you can fit a lot of food on this without any other accessories, but it is nice that it comes with the hooks that you can hang meat on. And it's got the hinge and everything too, so Ooh, that's kind of squeaky, might want to oil that. But really easy to use. Only thing I found bad on it so far is that the thermometer it comes with is not calibrated or just doesn't work properly. But I usually just use a standalone anyways, so I haven't found that to be a problem. So I don't know everything about this grill yet, but I know enough that I want to know more, and I definitely don't want to lose it yet. So I think it's in the safe zone for now. And if you've been following my channel, you know I recently built the egg table for the 2 eggs. I got the large and XL now. This is pretty new, so it's obviously not gonna go anywhere. So far, I do love the size of it. I love that you don't need to worry about scrunching everything on one grate or, you know, stacking things. I found that really fun so far to use compared to the large. If you're going between the large and the XL, I would definitely get the XL. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It heats up, in my opinion, almost just as fast. And it has just that capacity, which you will need at some point. Maybe not every day, but when you have that party or you have your, you know, in-laws over and your own family over and you have just a bigger get together and you want to do brisket and ribs, it makes it pretty easy. So XL large, I'd still go the XL if I had to make a decision. I have never been good on commitments, so this is tough, but I think on camera, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I'm gonna get rid of 2 grills this spring. And if you own one of these grills, don't take offense to it. And if you want this grill, I'm not telling you not to buy them. They're good grills. I just have too many. And for me, my love right now is charcoal smoking, charcoal grilling. So I'm gonna get rid of the pit barrel cooker and the Rectex 700. And I know some of you might find that hard to believe, might even feel discouraged by that, but they're great cookers. No disrespect to either, I just gotta make room for myself. And if you wanna see one last cook in either one, vote down below in the comments. Tell me what you'd like to make for my last cook in the pit barrel cooker or the Rectex 700, and I'll make it happen. Whatever gets the most votes in either smoker, I'll make one last time before I say goodbye to these wonderful grills that have really treated me very well. I sure hope you found this useful, if nothing else, entertaining. And if you want to see more reviews on these current grills that I've had or grills in the past, check out my review playlist up here on the screen. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber on Seared and Smoked, where we'll see you next time. We're always building better barbecue. That's good.